Greetings, everybody. Let us reason together. And I want you to listen carefully and really think about what I'm about to say. Now, I wanted to do a tribute to a beautiful sister who has passed away. One that over the last at least 4 years, I have had a beautiful relationship. She was subscribed to my channel and I was subscribed to her channel. And we took it from there and we had this relationship on Facebook, a private one. Because a lot of time I wouldn't really comment on her stuff publicly, but we would speak privately in her inbox or in mine. A beautiful woman. And, over the years, every so often, because to be honest with you, I am the worst person to stay in touch with folks. It's just, first of all, I respect people that I get close to. And I respect the fact that they give me the opportunity to be a part of their life, and so I don't like to abuse that. And so if I know someone's phone number, I'm not going to abuse it, and if I know someone's details and stuff like that, I'm not going to always be present. So our relationship is one that I valued, and from time to time, I go quiet, and sometimes I watch her videos. Sometimes she watches mine and we just stay quiet. But we've always had this connection. A beautiful woman. And recently, as per usual, something would happen and I would say, oh, I haven't connected with this person in a while. And I would reach out. And so I did that not too long ago. And I couldn't find her. I noticed she didn't have any posts for about a year. And so I said, where are you? I miss you. And a few weeks passed, and then came this very terrible news from someone who just saw that question on her channel and who happened to know her and connected with me and told me what was going on, and has told me that she has passed. Listen, for the last few days, I'm shaken. Now, please understand that I know the meaning of death. And I know that, this transition isn't a bad thing, but, we're human beings. And so when we're connected to people, we get very emotional about these things. Now, I wanted to do my tribute. And I've been going back and forth, weighing my mind, speaking to this person who happens to know a little more than I do. And I said, okay, I'll do the tribute, but I'm not going to mention the name for now. And I decided I'm not going to do that tribute. I'm going to delay it for one reason. I'm using common sense because on all her platform it's quiet. No one knows that this beautiful woman has passed. And why should I be the one to break this news? I'm thinking her family is mourning. It's recent. It's as recent as last month. Not last month, but March. And I'm thinking they need time to process this. They need time to deal with it because this was a family that was very close knitted, a beautiful family that shared lots of wonderful memories. And I thought to myself, maybe they need this time to process it. They don't want to share this with anybody. And so, I'm not going to mention her name. I'm just going to leave it be. Now, the point of this, and I say this to say this thing, that this is a time that we're living in when we are going to have to use common sense. We're going to have to rely on common sense to really examine something closely, because we're all under a microscope. Just imagine a huge tech lab where folks are in there with camera screens and all the high tech things you can think of, and you are under this microscope. And I always bring mention to this thing, and I always forget the name of it, where these guys used to, take their phones and they would walk into traffic, or they go into backyard, they go on in places where they're forbidden to go to find whatever it is that they're looking for. And I thought that was one of the biggest experiments, social experiment, to see how easily we are as individuals are led, and how much our lack of self-control is going to affect us in making all the right decisions. These are really not time to be talking too much. These are times really to be listening. And we all could learn to listen a little bit more. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie and something happens, and I was like, wait, 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 stop, stop, stop. Let me go back to that and hear that again. Um, Recently I watched a video and I heard something and I said, okay. And then, a loved one of mine watched it and missed that part. And I said, you didn't hear that? And she said, no, no, no. And I said, go back, please. Because if you tell me you didn't hear that thing, then I guess I'm going to have to run away. And when she went back, she was able to document the point, the exact point when that thing was uttered. And I think that's how we have to live. We have to be quiet and we have to listen. I know some of us have a lot to say. We have a lot of pent up emotion. And so when we think an opportunity arises for us to just say something, we want to say something. But this is not the time for it. Now, if you're into bringing awareness, you say something. If you're in the state of mind where you feel like, you know what, I'm not going to be called a good person and stand by and not say anything, that's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about listening carefully for the clues, because those who survive this game, you know, outwit, outsmart, outplay that survivor game, is going to have to listen for the clues. Only those who collect these clues are going to be able to escape the wrath. And a lot is being said. And it appears on the surface that things are being hidden, but they're not. They're in plain view, they're in plain sight. And you're going to have to rely on your common sense. You're going to have to rely on your self-control. You're going to have to rely on that thing in you that says act when you're supposed to act, and stop questioning your decisions or questioning your mind. If something is very strong in you, a overwhelming feeling to say, examine this, question this, do that. Because it was bothering me. I just kept thinking about her and I kept saying to myself, oh, I should link up such a person. And she was no longer here. But the funny thing, around the time when she would have passed, that was the time when I kept getting the urge to push and to check in. Trust me, man. Her passing has put me in a different place. And it's not that I cried, because even though I miss her and I just can't believe she's not around anymore. But when you listen to her messages and the things she said this time last year, it's almost as if she knew. And what I learned is that she was living her best life. And you've got to do that. Now, I know it's difficult for some people to be living their best life right now with what's going on in the world. But find a peaceful place. This is a time where you're going to connect with people that you've lost connection with. Those who, they mean a lot to you and you just haven't reached out to call them or to check in on them. Please do that now. And those you've had fights with and, you have separated, connect with those individuals if you can. Make peace. It's not worth it, to be honest with you, at the end of the day. If people have violated you and hurt you in ways that you feel like it's better to cut them off, even so, just release them. It's not worth it. Because life is so precious. But this place in this world, in the physical realm, is temporary. In the spiritual realm, it's permanent. So today, whosoever offend you, find a way to release them from you, from your consciousness, so that all that extra baggage, you know how sometimes you have to go in your phone or in your computer and you have to delete things that's just crowding up the space? I want you to do that in your mind and just declutter your mind from all the things that is just taking up space in there, that is preventing you from, downloading new information that is going to allow you to live peacefully and to survive what appears to be a holocaust. And I don't use that word loosely, but anything that threatens our humanity is really a holocaust. It's a time now when we have to focus more on spiritual things to build you. And the connections with people are way more important than it ever was at this time. Because when you're isolated and you're separated from other people, it's a time when you get broken down. You get weakened, and this is not the time to be weak. You get weakened, and then you can't resist. And so you accept things that you normally wouldn't accept because now you're just tired. Now you're just feeling broken. Now you're just feeling like, okay, who cares? That dearly beloved sister that is no longer here with us is not something that we should be sad about. Because when you really look at things, you know, she is in a place of eternal rest and peace. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you're not, and you need to talk to somebody about whatever it is that you're going through, it's Jennirren. It's JENNIRREN at gmail.com. And you don't have to tell me that this is strictly confidential. And if you want me to speak about it, then you say speak about it. But I always know when to use my discretion and when not to, you know, release my source. It's for that very reason why I've decided to delay saying who this person is, out of respect for the person who has shared with me. And if you're listening to this video, bless up yourself. You really helped me through the last few days in just helping me, process the whole thing. And, we continue on the journey, this journey of life. And we bless each other. We support each other the best ways we can. We listen to each other. And we love ourselves. And by extension, love others. Stay blessed, everybody.